Man, what's up, y'all? Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Next Level Talks. And I'm super excited about what we're gonna talk about tonight. But y'all let me know, how you feeling? What's going on inside your world? I have had a very full couple of days, and I think for someone like I'm gonna let y'all into my world. Now, here's the benefits of you all tapping in on my Next Level Talks. I'm kind of in a sense like letting you know real time, live, what's going on in my world, how I'm feeling, what are some of the challenges, the different areas I'm navigating, like how I'm processing things, and the standard that I'm trying to live up to. So I'm excited for you all to tap in tonight. I've got quite a bit to share with you in this hour. Shout out to all you faithful people who have been tapped in. Shout out to all you subscribers. If you're a subscriber, just put subscriber in the chat. Put subscriber in the, put subs. Just put subs. I ain't even gonna put you to work tonight. Just put subs in the chat. If you have not subscribed to our Next Level Speakers Academy channel, I will invite you to subscribe. What is that gonna do? That's gonna let YouTube know, like, hey, you tapped in with us. So now when we have things, you'll be able to kind of be up to date. Now I need you to do two things. I want you to hit subscribe, but I also want you to like this post. Everybody put a heart in the chat once you like it. Like, once you like the post, what happens for YouTube is like, oh, Sabrina, Kelly, Patrick, DeMarcus, they like Next Level Talks. So what I'm gonna do now is whenever they go into YouTube, I'm gonna make sure they know it's available. Does that make sense? Because YouTube is a little different than like Instagram and some of the other social media platforms. So I wanna make sure y'all don't miss nothing. And the algorithm is real, and we gotta work with the algorithm. So subscribe, hit like, let us know you tapped in, right? Tonight we're gonna talk about something special. I have a title for it. I've got a framework I've built, a series of questions you must ask yourself as you're striving for this thing called next level living. And it's called occupational integrity. For years, people have been trying to figure out, like, man, all right, how do I get to the next level? Well, I've created a framework and a series of questions, and we're gonna talk about that tonight. What if I told you? What if I told you that you could not only win, but you could dominate in every single aspect of your life? You can win you can win at home, you can win in business, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can win in school, you can win in relationships with your children, like health-wise, spiritually. You can win in every single aspect. And tonight, I'm gonna give you the cheat code. It's Next Level Talks. Let's get it.
You go out here and you claim your seat.
Oh, I just touched down, now it's time to celebrate. Super Bowl in Vegas, this where the big steppers play. My whole squad will paint the town, but they don't decorate. And my work a bit excessive, check my resume. Keep it a C note, if I'm speaking, I'm the keynote. Super Bowl in Vegas, this where the big steppers play. My whole squad will paint the town, but they don't decorate. And my work a bit excessive, check my resume. Ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah, ooh. Dance, 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 dance.
Come on, man. Every time I watch that little intro joint my team put together with my dog, my brother Toby's music on top, man, I get excited. Check this out tonight. First off, shout out to everybody that's in the Next Level Speakers Academy. If you're a member of our Next Level Speakers Academy, pop your collar, put Academy in the chat, put 100 emoji in the chat, put however you feeling in the chat. If you were a member of the Next Level Speakers Academy, if you're interested in joining what I believe to be the number one, actually, I don't just believe this to be. This is the number one professional speakers program in the world. I didn't say we are perfect program, but when you look at what everybody else is offering and the fullness of what we're offering and the amount of people who have been successful, oh yeah, we at the top, man. So scan that if you're interested in joining the Next Level Speakers Academy. And shout out to all of you all who are already members of the Next Level Speakers Academy. So look, people often ask me to say, yo, Jay, like, bro, where did this, matter of fact, before I even go on, before I go into today's message, shout out to everybody that's coming to the mastermind this weekend. We have our Next Level Speakers Elite Inner Circle Mastermind this weekend. I am so excited about it. It's going to be here in Atlanta, Georgia. We've got one this weekend, so Friday and Saturday, and then we have another one in September, and then the final mastermind in person will be in Cancun in November. So shout out to everybody that's coming to town. I talked to a few people today, like, Coach, I'm coming to town. You need me to get anything? I'm like, nope, you come here so we can serve you. So really excited about our Next Level Speakers Mastermind. Some of y'all are like, what are you even talking about? So we have our Speakers Academy, the overall community, but then we have other groups and communities depending on the level that you are speaking and the amount of coaching and how much you're willing to invest in yourself to go deeper. Like, we have more programs and masterminds that often come up. So that's what that's about. Now, why do we offer masterminds? Why do we have additional programs? Just like when you go to college, it's like you can get your bachelor's, you can get your bachelor's degree. That's like the starting point. Some colleges you get your associates, then your bachelor's, but then you can get your master's, and then you can get your PhD, right? And so we have like a master's and a PhD program within our program. Why? You might say, Jeremy, why would you create that? Well, I really want to add as much value at every single level as possible. Like, I really try my best to live the brand. And when I'm not able to live the brand, it affects me deeply. I need y'all to hear me. When I'm not able to live up to the name Next Level, I feel like a hypocrite. People talk about imposter syndrome, this and that. Okay, that's a thing. But when I know who I am and what I built, what it is, and I can't live up, it affects me deeply. So I've been on a journey of chasing the next level. Probably I got baptized October 17th, 2009. So this year, October, will be 15 years. After I got baptized, it was maybe 2 years came by before the inception of Next Level Living came out, right? And I remember I was at home and I was watching one of my speeches. Now, you all got to know something here, right? I often teach and coach our speakers to like watch film tape, like watch your speeches. And I used to really struggle with that, right? Because I'm like, man, I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to watch my speeches, you know what I'm saying? So I would really struggle with that. And so I got to a point where I said, man, let me just watch my speech. Let me just see what's going on. Let me just kind of just feel it out. And so I began to watch my speeches and I began to notice a trend. I would often say, next level this, next level that. You know what I'm saying, Jerry? Like, I would often kind of go back and forth, you know what I'm saying, with like, next level this, next level that. This is what you got to do to go to the next level. And I was just like, man, I say next level often. So I was just like, you know what? I'm about to build up the brand Next Level Living. Now, I look up and this next level, this and that, all sorts of things. But years ago when I first started, you know what I'm saying, I ain't never heard of it. It was just something I would always say. So I was like, Next Level Living. So everything I was doing was pushing people to live life on the next level. Because I didn't want to be average. I didn't want to be stagnant. I really wanted to live life on the highest level. And so with that being said, I began to, all of my messages, all of my sermons, whether I'm in a group home, a homeless shelter, detention center, a jail, a prison, I will always challenge people to go to that next level. So wherever they were. So if a student was in schools and they was like dropping out of school or failing or skipping school, it's just like, okay, your next level is just to show up. Like, I'm not even looking for you to be a scholar. Or maybe you showing up to school every single day, but you like a CD student. My next level for you is like, okay, let's be an AB student. Like, let's study more. Let's practice more, right? So I was always pushing people. It's like, okay, I created this thing called a next level marriage report card. I gave to a whole bunch of my homeboys, had my team design it. Why? If husbands realize your wife graded you and you average, okay, what are some small steps I can take to go from being a C husband to a B husband? Like, I've been pushing and preaching and sharing a message for years, challenging and pushing people to go to the next level. But I never fully broke down the framework behind Next Level Living. And I will probably say a year ago, it's like it all came around full circle, where I realized, like, man, Next Level Living, it is not just, you know, something to strive for. There's literally a formula and a science. Because I would tell people, like, man, Next Level Living is being everything that God has called you and created you to be. If anybody says, okay, what is next level living, right? Like next level living is the constant pursuit to be everything that God has called you to be. That's what next level living is, right? And so I want to make sure that we are intentional about knowing, you know what I'm saying? Like when we are striving to be the best version, it's like, okay, but what version of you? It's like some people just like, okay, well, I want to go to the next level in this area, this life. And it's just like, nah, you need to go to the next level in all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you just to win in one area. I want you to win in multiple areas. So with that being said, I created this framework, occupational integrity. Guys, y'all will not know how many times I'm about to sing you some, Jerry. Y'all won't know how many times people are like, bro, I love your message on occupational therapy. I'd be like, bro, it's not occupational therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's occupational integrity, but people get that mixed up all the time, right? But I really want to kind of break down the framework to occupational integrity to kind of show you what that looks like. And I'm going to walk you through it, right? The first level, you got to ask yourself, right? When you look at what you do day to day, and this is the message I share in the corporate space, right? I'm about to speak for an organization like next week, and I'll be sharing this exact message. And the first thing I'm gonna ask them is the first question to occupational integrity, right? The first question you have to ask yourself is, man, when I show up to work every single day, when I do my job day in and day out, like, do I do it, efficiently and effectively without anybody having to watch me? That's the first question. Like, do I do my job efficiently and effectively without anybody having to watch me? That's the first question you have to ask yourself, right? And some people will say, yeah, Jay, I do my job efficiently and effectively. Like, ain't nobody got to follow up with me. Like, I handle my business. Okay, cool. The next question is, do you do your job efficiently and effectively without anybody having to watch you or micromanage you at the highest level? Think about it. Some of you watching this right now, if you honest, it's like, yo, Jay, the first one I could check off the box. I show up to work, I clock in at 8, I clock out at 5, and I'm working the whole time. I'm not on Instagram, I'm not doing my thing. Like, I'm doing my job efficiently and effectively. But are you doing it at the highest level? That's the second question. There are some people that work a call center, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna answer the calls and I'm gonna answer your question, but do you got the personality? Are you treating the other person the way you would want to be treated? People that's working like at the cash register, are you just booping it? Are you making sure that they have a great experience? You know what I'm saying? Those people that's in a marketing agency or television, radio production, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you just doing it to say I did my job, or are you doing it at the highest level that you know you can do? I'm going somewhere here because we're talking about integrity. We're talking about if God made you to be something, if God made you to do something, if God said, this is who my child is, this is who I've created you to be, you are not operating with integrity if you're not living up to that. See, I'm skipping ahead. I just felt that real quick. Stay with me. Y'all stay with me. Hang out with me, right? So the third question you got to ask yourself, do I do my job efficiently and effectively without anybody having to micromanage me at the highest level, right? And can I do it without needing praise, credit, or accolades? Now that's a little different. Some of y'all are like, yo, Jay, efficiently and effectively check. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tapped in, I do my job, I ain't cutting corners. Oh, but to the highest level, you might be like, yes, I do. I go above and beyond every single day. I come early, leave late. You might be that person. But do you do it only for the praise, credit, and accolades? What happens if you stop winning awards within your company? What happens if you're not acknowledged during the monthly meetings? What happens if you're not seen at the top of the sales list? Like, what happens if you don't get that bonus? What happens if you don't get that pat on the back? What happens if you don't get publicly acknowledged? Do you still operate at the highest level? Right, we're going somewhere here. We're not just talking about what you do for work. We're talking about who you are as a human, and I'm going to help you go to the next level and live life on the next level. We're talking real talk on Next Level Talk tonight, but you got to ask yourself, do I operate efficiently and effectively at the highest level without anybody having to give me praise, credit, or accolades? Very few people operate like that. Most will say, hey, I'm going to do my thing. Just acknowledge how nice I am. Acknowledge how sweet. I'm pretty dope. Just make sure I get the praise, credit. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be acknowledged. Let me just say this. You should be acknowledged. You should get the praise. You should win that award. People should know how amazing you are. The whole world, we should celebrate you because you're that dope and you're that special. But the day that you say, I'm not going to show up and be as amazing as I am because I'm not getting recognized for it, that's a fundamental problem. Y'all put truth in the chat if y'all know I'm not lying. Jerry, are they talking to me in the chat, bro?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all put truth in the chat. Like what they saying, Jerry? Just take a moment and let me know what they saying. Are they talking to me?
Yes, sir. We got people saying truth right now. We got Chris Lacey in there. We got Ebony. We got Keisha. We got Faraday. We got Benjamin. We got Gia.
Right, good. All right. I just want to make sure. Y'all are hearing, you know what I'm saying, what I'm saying. Efficient and effectively, check. No, nobody got to watch me micromanage me. You got that covered. At the highest level, yes, but what happens when you start getting the praise? It's great to be Teacher of the Year when you know you're going to win the award. It's great to be the MVP of the league when you know you're going to harness that trophy. But that next level is when you show up every single day and you're like, I don't even need no praise credit. Why? I'm just being who I am. I just woke up dope. I woke up like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just dope like that. I can't explain it. God just made me this way. That's the energy I want you moving with. Because the day that your performance is tied to praise, you failed. The day that your performance is tied to the praise that you will receive or you won't receive, that's a failure right there. You know what I'm saying? And I know all about going through life in certain seasons, in certain situations, in certain relationships, and not getting the praise, not getting the credit, not getting the accolades, feeling unseen, feeling unheard, but still saying, I'm still going to show up because this is what I'm supposed to do, and this is what I said I'm going to do. And what I do for you has nothing to do with what you do for me. I got folks that work with companies or organizations across the globe. That's like, well, I'm not going to give them my best because I don't like how they treat me. Like, what is that? But when we operate with occupational integrity, it's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go above and beyond, efficiently and effectively at the highest level. And you don't have to acknowledge how amazing I am. Why? Because I know. When do we get to a point where we know it's good enough? When do we get to a point where we say, you know what? I don't need to be seen by everybody else. Let me tell you a side thing. So 2 years ago, we take an annual family trip to South Africa. And 2 years ago, we were blessed to go. Deani was with us, Nick and Crump, the Crumplers, Sophie, you know what I'm saying, Ebony. Like, yo, we had a whole squad of people. My parents was with us. We was 15 deep. My cousin Leslie, her husband, like, we was 15 deep, y'all. Phenomenal experience, right? So I'll never forget, there's a Zulu elder, a priest, a Christian man of God that I invited to dinner. I've known him for probably 6-7 years now. And he gave everybody their Zulu names, right? And so I'll never forget when he gave Crump, our director, my brother, my right-hand man, when he gave Crump, he's the director of the Speakers Academy, so people get to Crump before they get to me, right? He gave Crump his name. He says, your name is this, and it means the anchor. He said, oftentimes the anchor is in the water. It keeps the ship steady. It keeps the ship safe. He said the anchor goes unseen. The anchor goes unappreciated. The anchor doesn't feel, people don't value the anchor because they don't really see the anchor, but it's there. What if the anchor one day said, you know what? Y'all ain't praising me. Y'all ain't giving me credit. I'm out of here. Deuces, holla at your boy. Imagine if that would happen. All the ships that would sink, all the ships that would float away, right? So I share that with you because you got to get to a point that says, you know what? Even if the world doesn't acknowledge me. I thought it was so deep when he called him, when he named him, and his name meant like the anchor like that. I was like, that's Crump. Like, he does so much for so many people that don't always get acknowledged for it. Like that's deep. But what if he was like, you know what? I ain't gonna be a dope coach, or I ain't gonna be a dope husband, or I ain't gonna be a dope father, and I ain't gonna be a dope friend, and I'm not gonna take care of my parents, and I'm not gonna show up and pull up for people and have private prayer calls and pour into elite members. Like, he be doing so much extra stuff for the people in our community that we don't even be knowing about. It's like, what if he was like, I ain't doing that because I ain't getting credit for it? But when you operate with occupational integrity, you put yourself in a position that says, you know what? I'm gonna go above and beyond. I'm gonna do all the extra things. Does that make sense? I'm trying to let y'all know, like, it's a whole different type of way that you move. Occupational integrity is not saying you're perfect. It's saying you're doing your best when you show up in the different spaces you occupy. Let's go deeper. The fourth question you got to ask yourself. Yes, you say, okay, I show up every single day and I do my job efficiently and effectively. I don't need nobody micromanage me. Yes, in addition to that, I show up and do it at the highest level. Okay. And then you say, thirdly, not only do I do that, I don't even need no praise, credit, or accolades. Great. Now, can you do that? The fourth question, can you do that in the face of adversity? Can you do that in the face of trials? Can you do that in hardships? Like, can you do that when it seems like things are not going right? That's where some people get shaky. They're like, efficiently and effectively, I'm showing up on a regular basis. I'm going above and beyond. I exceed the expectations. Like, I don't need no credit. But what happens when your world is crumbling? Or what happens when you're not having a good day? You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Tyson said it, like everybody got a plan till you get punched in the mouth. So you be waking up, you go to work, you ready to do your thing, feeling good, but when something goes wrong, can you still operate at the highest level? Now, what I'm telling you though, is I'm not saying, because we not robots, we're humans. So we have feelings, thoughts, emotions. Some of you are probably thinking like, but Jay, like what if I'm really, really, really going through something and I can't give you 100%? Well, guess what? I'm not asking you for 100%. I'm asking, give me all you got. Take a moment to let that process while I hit my little vitamin water. I'm not asking you to give us 100%. Just give me everything you got. For some of you, all you got might be 82%. Jeremy, I ain't on my A game. I'm 82. Some of you, it might be 68%. My thing is like, yo, I'm not mad. You did the best you could with what you had. Does that make sense? Y'all just put make sense in the chat. I'm about to bring it all the way home because some of y'all are kind of like, so we talking about how to be better people at work? No. We're talking about how to be better humans, period. We're talking about how to be better people, period. Oftentimes people hear this term occupational integrity and they think like, oh, this is how you operate with integrity at the highest level within our occupation. Wrong. This ain't got nothing to do with your job. This got everything to do with you. That has nothing to do with your employment. This is me empowering you. So this is not, occupational is not you operating at the highest level on your job or in your occupation. Occupational integrity is you operating at the highest level in all the spaces you occupy as a human. That's the difference there. Haha, plot twist. This ain't got nothing to do with work. Work? We talking about work? I gotta hit them with the AI. Practice? We're not talking about work, my friends. We talking about you. So now let's go deeper. Do you do your job efficiently and effectively without having to have people watch you and micromanage you? Integrity, character. Okay, you do that at the highest level. Okay, don't need praise, credit, accolades. Okay, got it. In the face of adversity, when things are going wrong, in trials, when you're tired, when you're frustrated, depressed, do the best you can with what you have. Here's the fifth question. Do you give that same energy to your family? That's where many of you probably struggle. Some of y'all is probably like, man, put got me in the chat. If you was like, man, Jay, I was locked in with you, I'll be killing it at work, but I'll be struggling at home. I've been sharing this message every time I take the stage, and of course I customize it for the different audiences and groups and companies and organizations, right? But every single time I got a grown man that comes up to me. Oftentimes they don't look like me, in tears. Like, man, and they all of them get creative, right? They say stuff like, you know, they get creative with it. They say stuff like, what was the last one? Last one my man said, my man was just like, I'm amazing at work, but I suck at home or something like that. Like they are always let me know like, man, I give my company my best and I give my family the leftovers. So I want to challenge you on that. I can't tell you how many teacher of the years I've met over the years, over the last decade when I've been speaking heavy in schools. And I meet these teachers and these teachers are winning awards. And I'm like, I'm talking to them about their journey. I'm so inspired for the sacrifices, the service they make for our kids in schools. But you know what? I find a trend that all of them say, yep, I won this award. Yep, I won this plaque. I got my name in the office. The whole school looks at me like I'm the GOAT. But my kids look at me like I'm a ghost. For real, like I've met with teachers that's like, yep, at my school, I'm the GOAT. But with my family, I'm a ghost. They like, where you at, Dad? You ain't never here, Dad. You never really present, Dad. I don't want you to live like that. As amazing as you are at work, what you do day to day, building your business, your speaking career, whatever it is you do, I want you to be just as amazing at home. And if you realize now that there's a gap, that's what tonight is all about, filling the gaps. If you realize now, like, you know what? I give my company my best and my family the rest. That is a problem. Your family deserves more than that. Y'all subscribe, share this video. I see my team is popping up, the little thing keeps appearing. Boop. You know what I'm saying? Like, so y'all subscribe and share and all that good stuff. All right. So your family deserves that. Your family deserves the best version of you. So I want to let you sit in that. And then let's go a little bit deeper. Let's say, you know what? Let me just say what many of you are thinking. And if I'm telling the truth, what I'm about to say, just put truth in the chat. Just let me know I'm not lying. And Jerry, in a second, I'm gonna ask you what they're saying. But yes, sir. Some of you all, I believe, are probably thinking like, Jay, this is hard. Like, I had a guy in the corporate space come up to me after my presentation, like, this is hard. And I was just like, yep, but let me add my third element. How many of you feel like, yeah, Jay, I mean, above and beyond, exceeding expectations, over deliver, being present, you know what I'm saying, at work, don't need praise, credit, or accolades, like all of that, and be there for my family. Like, many of you are probably thinking like, bro, that's hard. Without having praise and nobody giving me awards, and in the face of challenges and depression and adversity, like, I'm still showing up, giving the absolute best I can, and I'm supposed to give that to my wife and my husband and my children and my family. Like, many of y'all are thinking like, man, that is hard. Some of y'all are probably thinking like, bruh, this not even possible. This ain't even realistic. Like, are they saying truth, Jerry? Are they?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We got Dr. Ramona with you, Chris Lacey with you, mental fitness with you. So much more.
Okay, so I just want to make sure, like, I want to identify, I know how challenging this might sound. And so I want to share the sixth question. The last thing you got to ask yourself is all this energy that you might give your company, your job, all of that, all this energy that you might give to your family, your kids, your spouse, you know what I'm saying? Or for y'all single folks, your dog. Y'all know how y'all do. Y'all dog lovers, like, one of my homeboys got to build a whole, like, literally a actual bedroom for his dog. It's like, bro, it's crazy. His dog be getting massages and stuff. Like, so some of y'all that single got pet, like, you give your people your all. But do you keep that same energy for yourself? Are you operating with occupation? See, here's the reality. You occupy that role at your job. You occupy the space in your home as a husband, as a wife, as a mother, as a father. We're talking about occupational integrity. Do you operate with integrity at the highest level as a mom, as a father, as a child, as a son, a daughter, a mother, father? Like, do you operate at the highest level there? You might say yes, or Jeremy, it's really hard because I'm trying to operate the highest level at home and at work, and it's really struggling for me. You know why? Because you are not operating with integrity when it comes to your own self. Now we talk about you. Are you showing up every single day for you? Are you taking care of your heart? Are you taking care of your mind? Some of y'all might need to go back to watch last week's Next Level Talks when we talked about, protecting your peace while building your brand. And I kind of showed y'all some of the different things I was learning and doing as I'm on my mental health journey, make sure I keep myself in the best space, in the best place. And so we really talked about that, but I want to go a little bit deeper into that tonight. When we talk about occupational integrity, you occupy the space of your body. You occupy the space of your mind. How are you doing taking care of your mind? I lost a friend because he lost his mind. This is real life. I've got another friend of mine now that's dealing with cancer, like, in his body, right? Like, what are you doing to take care of you? What are you doing to prioritize you? You're right, Jeremy. I can't be efficiently and effectively doing my thing in my job without needing somebody to micromanage me. And I definitely ain't going above and beyond and without getting praise, credit, and accolades in the face of adversity and being very present for my spouse and my kids. Like, bro, I can't do all of that. You're right, because you're not taking care of you. But when you take care of you, when you prioritize your health, when you prioritize your peace, when you're constantly reading and you're growing your mind and you're praying and you're fasting, whatever you got to do to grow spiritually, you think I'm just spiritually strong because I just love God? I have to work my spiritual muscles. I have to crucify the flesh. I have to read the scriptures. I have to fast. I have to pray. It does not just come naturally. There are things that I have to do to put myself in the best position to win and grow and get closer to God. It does not happen naturally. As a matter of fact, I have to work more towards that because the carnal nature of me wants to sin. The carnal nature of me wants to be selfish. The carnal nature of me wants to do things the way I want to do it, but I want to do it the way God wants me to do it. So we have to be intentional. I tell you all the time, front view. I tell you all the time, if you are not intentional about being successful, you can accidentally become a failure. One more time, I met a homeless guy in Chicago years ago. I was like, bro, how you got here? He was like, I don't know, he was a crackhead. I gave him like 30, 40 bucks, whatever I had. I ain't gonna judge him. How you got here? He was like, man, I don't know, bro. I dropped out of school. I was smoking a little reefer. And next thing I knew, I was out here in the streets. I thought, wow, my man accidentally became a crackhead, homeless. He didn't go to school saying, when I grow up, I'm gonna do this. In the world we live in, you are not going to automate. Our government, our society is not going to naturally make you become anything. You have to work towards it. And I realized from that homeless man, it changed my life. If you are not intentional about being successful, you can accidentally become a failure. So I ask you, my friends, we're going to get to Q&A in a minute. I hope y'all got some good questions tonight because I'm in my bag. I want to know from you, do you feel, y'all put in the chat yes or no, do you feel like, you know what, there is more I can do to take better care of me? There are better things I can do this, whether it's setting boundaries, whether it's not accepting certain phone calls, whether it's saying no to more people when you want to say yes, putting your phone on do not disturb, going to get a pedicure, downloading the Calm app or something, or finding some music to meditate your mind, like carving out time to start working up in the morning. Oh, Jeremy, I can't afford a gym membership. Okay, well, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups. It's stuff on YouTube. There are hundreds of trainers on YouTube that go live and have training programs that's free every single day. You can do something. You can eat better. You can start drinking more water. Like, you can be more intentional about you. Are you taking care of your body? Are you taking care of your mind? Are you reading more? Are you taking care of your brain more? You know what I'm saying? Is your brain getting sharper? Are you praying more? Are you serving more? Like, what are you doing for you? I told y'all last week, I've been going to the sauna. I go and get a good sweat, a good detox, get the impurities out of my body. I try to go at least 3 times a week just to help recalibrate my brain. Why? Because I'm like, I can't afford to lose my mind. Too many people are counting on me. Too many people are depending on me. And I'm not even just talking about my family and friends and our team. I'm talking about the community of the world. God has great work for me to do. If I'm going to operate with occupational integrity, then I have to make sure I'm in my best position. I got to make sure I am who God made me to be. God made me to be great. God made you to be great. God made you to prosper. God made for you to dominate. God made for you to be amazing and made for you to be epic and made for you to be a savage when it comes to business, with the humble heart, with the humble, gentle spirit. Like, he wires you like that to overcome obstacles. He wires you like that to come through and defend other people. He wired you like that to be giving, to be loving. He wired you to be a problem solver. He wired you to be a wealth builder. You're supposed to be a giver and not a borrower. You're supposed to be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. That's who you're supposed to be. And if you're not living up to that, now you must ask yourself, what do you got to do to be more intentional to become who God made you to be? That's the crazy thing, Jerry. I'm not asking my friends that's on me right now live or that's watching the recordings to magically become something you're not. That's who God made you to be. I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm asking for you to put forth a perfect effort every single day, and I'm committed to it. I'm locked in. There's certain things I don't drink. It's certain places I don't go. It's certain people I don't follow on social media. It's certain messages I won't respond to. It's certain things I won't put in my body. It's certain things I won't let my eyes to see. It's certain things I say yes to, and there's certain things I say no to. And so I'm in a season now where I've got even more clarity. And I'm challenging you to really ask yourself, in this season of your life, what adjustments this ain't about work. This is about you working to become the best version of you. That's what this is about. So you got to ask yourself, like, man, what adjustments do I got to make so I can take better care of me? You see, I started with the beginning, but I'm going to end with the most important thing, which is you. I'm saving the best for last. It's you. Listen to me, y'all. I talked to one of my team members today. I talked to her this morning. I was just like, you probably need to take some time off after this mastermind. You know what God reminded me to share with her? I said, and guess what? I'm not offering you to take a few days off. I hope y'all receive this. I said, I'm not telling you to take a few days off so that you can come back and be more efficient at work. I'm not doing that. I'm asking you to take a few days off so you can have peace within. I'm asking you to take a few days off so you can have joy. I'm asking you to take a few days off so you ain't walking around depressed carrying everybody's burdens. I'm asking you to take a few days off so you don't lose yourself in doing the work. My intentions were pure, but God was like, hey, just over communicate. Hey, ma'am, I'm not telling you to take a few days off so you can be more efficient when you work for me. No. I care about you as a person. To you all watching YouTube right now, I care about you as a human, as a mother, Dr. Ramona Lawrence as a business owner, Chris Lacey as a mother and speaker and wife. Like, I'm talking to you all. I want you to be the best version of you. I just want you to show up and say, you know what? I'm going to show the world how amazing I am. I'm going to show the world how powerful and prolific I am. I'm going to show the world who I am. And we got to do a better job of going from knowing to doing to being. Knowing, doing, being. The goal is for us to get to become human beings. Knowing, doing, being. First level is knowing. I know better. I know better. One day I'm going to do better. Then you go from knowing to doing. Like, I don't just know better. I'm going to start doing better. I'm going to put forth the effort every single day. But then when you get in the zone, you're not even trying to do things. You're just being who you are. Somebody put being. Y'all put being in the chat. I'm believing this season, this year, y'all are going to end this year and you're going to hit me later and say, Jay, I went from knowing what to do and who I could be to doing the things to where it's like I'm not even trying to do certain things. I'm just being who I am. Does that make sense? Steph Curry, I watched his documentary. My man was like 12, 13, 14. His mom had him shoot free throws for a whole summer, a whole month. He couldn't even step in the outside perimeter. No layup, no fancy dribbles. Sit right here at the free point line and just shoot it. Not the three-pointer, the free throws. Just sit right here at the free throw line over and over, thousands of shot of days for a month. Steph Curry went from knowing, okay, spread your fingers, snap your wrist, to doing it so much to just being to where, pow, off center, pow, catch and shoot. To where he the coldest shooter in the game. He went from knowing, doing, being. Our prayer is like, man, God, I want to go from knowing, you know what I'm saying, like how to live, how to be a Christian, to doing the things I should do day to day, to just being. It's a different level when the baddie walk. I'm talking to the fellas now. I'm talking to the fellas now. All right. I hope this ain't TMI. I'm talking about waist about this small, whether you like them slim or thick, whatever. But say your cup of tea walk by you, bro. You so locked in on purpose. You so locked in on your mission. You don't even see how bad and beautiful she is. You don't even see that. You don't even see, bro. You so locked in. You go from knowing I shouldn't look to doing I'm not gonna look to saying I don't even see that. I see purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's like you see it, but it don't faze you like that. Does that make sense? Because there was a time I would see her coming, I'm going to be like, I'm going to look this way. That way, by the time she match where my eyes is already on that juicy thing. You know what I'm saying? Then I got to a point now, it's like, oh, okay, whatever, boom. I see her soul. I see, oh, she probably wearing that because she hurt on this side because her daddy wasn't there in her life. So let me just pray. Okay, she flirting with me. Okay, she see this ring on my finger. Okay, God, okay, so let me just pray. Yep, pray for her release, pray for her healing because she out here. She don't know me, but she all over me, so I don't want to just curve her and make her feel even less. Let me just speak life to her, but then keep it moving, because if I speak life for 2-3 minutes, now she really in love with your boy. So I'm just going to say something real quick and then move. Knowing, doing, being. In certain areas of my life, I'm still in doing. Let me be honest. I don't want y'all to think like Jeremy's just arrived. I'm a wretch. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. Jerry. Nick, I'm a wretch, bro. I just want y'all to know. I don't want nobody. Y'all get it, right? All right, all right. Look, I don't want nobody that watches to feel like, oh, Jake, no. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Let me be clear. I'm still a work in progress. All of us are. We ain't gonna never be perfect till we get to the earth made new, right? And so I'm just letting y'all know it's different levels. There are some areas of my life where I'm in that being state. Then there are some areas in my life I'm in the doing. And there are probably a few areas of my life where I'm in the know. If I can be complete, I hope y'all can respect this and appreciate this. There are some areas of my life I'm in the knowing. Like Jay, you know better. You know better, bruh. Then there are some areas of my life where it's just like, yep, I know I'm doing better. I'm putting forth an intentional effort every single day. But there are some areas of my life I'm just being. It don't even take effort no more because I'm just been so in this place of doing for so long. It comes like second nature. I hope this was helpful. I shared a lot, and I really wanted you all to really just understand what that pursuit of next level living really looks like. When you get to a point where you're a man and a woman that keeps your word, when you tell somebody, bro, I got your back, I'm going to show up for you, I'm going to cover you, you know what I'm saying? And when you give your organization you work for, your company, your friends, your best, but your family, you give them that same energy. And for those of y'all that feel like, man, Jay, that's a lot, or like I'm gonna do the best I can, bro, but sometimes I be tired. It's like, I get that. So now you gotta say, okay, why am I not being as amazing as I've been wired to be at work and at home? Oh, I have not regulated my body. I have not regulated my mind. I have not regulated my time. I have not done a good enough job of taking care of me and protecting my peace and setting boundaries and being okay with telling people no. I used to be a big people pleaser. You know what, something revealed to me earlier today. God said, son, people be wanting to meet with you and you be like, okay, let me try to set some up next week. Just for your mental health state, you need to start telling people, okay, yep, I'm gonna see if I can put some on the books in October. Even if it's a 30-minute phone call, those things start adding up. Like God was like, bro, push some things out a month or two. Because I might look at my calendar and be like, I could fit you in next week, Friday, but I don't know what my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday looking like. By the time Friday come around, I want to crawl up under a rock. I really want to be able to float into the Sabbath and just rest, but I'm burnt out by the time Friday come, and now I got to have more bandwidth for something I said a week ago. I'm letting y'all all into my world. What am I telling you? I want you to regulate your body. I want you to regulate your mind. I want you to regulate your time and pace yourself so you can be as amazing as God has called you and created you to be. That's all I want for you. All right, I hope that was helpful. Occupational integrity. It is not you operating at the highest level with integrity in all the at your job. It's you operating at the highest level with integrity in all of the various spaces you occupy as a human. Because you're not just a human, you occupy the space as a mother. For me, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm an uncle, I'm a business owner, entrepreneur, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a business partner. I occupy a lot of spaces. So how can I be the best me in all these different spaces? Well, I need to be the best me. And the most important offering that you should give to the world is not being a best husband, the best father, the best child, son, daughter, father, or employee or whatever, or owner. It's you taking care of you, your heart, your mind. Because when you good and you feel good, everybody around you will get the best version of you. And it's easier to juggle and manage all of those areas. I hope that was helpful. Let's tackle these questions and get y'all out of here, man. Thank y'all for tapping in. Again, subscribe, like, tell me how y'all feeling. First, before we get to the questions, Jerry, let me know some of the comments people are saying. I want to just make sure that they receiving and picking up what I'm putting down.
Yes, sir. So we got Pam Hook saying, so helpful. We got Grieving Like a Champion saying, true. We got Lisa saying, yes, Lord. Benjamin in the chat saying, spirit-led time management. We got Keisha, your word is very important. We have Tawana, your mom. We have your mom in the chat saying, I don't play about family. And then we have Mark Bishop saying, this part is huge.
Oh, come on. Appreciate that. I love you, mama. What's up, mama? That's my girl, y'all. so, so I wanna. So let me just say this while I got my mom on, right? You know, I think she is a good, like example of this. Like oftentimes, Jerry, when I talk about, growing up, being born in Dallas, we moved from Dallas, quick little moment in Atlanta, then New Jersey for 3 years, in Huntsville, Alabama. And I often share my story like my mom had me when she was 16 years old. And what I don't often share, Jerry, and watch how I tie this into occupational integrity, is she got her diploma while she was working full time. I still remember the FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, I think it was called. I remember the big building in Dallas. She had a great job at while she was, taking care of us. She was working, handling her business, got her bachelor's, then went to grad school. Years later, got her master's degree. See, that's a part of the story I don't share because I'm kind of just letting people know where my journey was. But it's like you do all of that, 6 figures a year, working in this high rise in Atlanta, like, and all the aspects she was going through and everything that she had going on, she continued to grow and excel. So when we talk about occupational integrity, she was just like, okay, and then watch this, but watch this, but watch this. Cooking home cooked meals. Y'all, listen to me. Let me tell y'all something. Let me keep it 1,000 with you. It wasn't Uber Eats when I was growing up. And we sure wasn't eating Taco Bell and McDonald's every night. So imagine my mama in school, working a full-time job with kids, building stuff with her husband, like growing, but still handling her business on the side. Like, so I gotta shout you out, mama, because like that's why I'm wired differently. People see how I'm moving. Well, I had a great example. I could see how her and my pops was moving and operating. And I'm like, yo, if they can be multifaceted in all these different areas and still be present for us, you know what I'm saying? So I struggle with excuses because I've seen greatness be demonstrated before. I've seen it done before. And all I want is for you all to take on that greatness and show the world how amazing you are. And again, ain't none of us perfect. So I could do a whole nother session on things I've gotten wrong in life and in marriage and in business, right? And just put all my stuff out. Ain't nobody perfect. I'm talking about the pursuit of it. Do you wake up every single day and you say, man, I want to be the best? Do you wake up every single day and say, man, I want to be the best mother. I want to be the best father. I want to be the best spouse. Even though I ain't feeling my spouse right now, and they've been breaking my heart and they get on my damn nerves, I made a covenant before God. Let me just try. Let me just try. I'm tired. Let me just try. Like, do you wake up every single day and say, man, business is hard, but I really believe what God has called me to do? And I'm getting complaint after complaint, and people are frustrated, and it's just like, but I know we got something special. Let me hunker down to try my best to be the best. It's the pursuit of it. And it breaks my heart when people start pursuing the greatness that's already inside of them. All right, let me knock out a few questions.
Yes, sir. We got Rico. Rico said in terms of number 6, giving myself occupational integrity. Grief is one of the things we often don't properly manage. Can you elaborate on the importance of occupational integrity when it comes to grief?
Wow, Rico, that's a really good question. Just give me a minute to process it, because I'll say this. I have not done the best job in the areas of grief, and dealing with grief. I'm probably, we talk about knowing, doing, being. I'm definitely in the knowing state. Sometimes I overcompensate for grief by looking out for those who might have been affected by the person that lost or doing the most. Or so I have had in the past unhealthy ways of dealing with grief. And so I'm not for sure in terms of giving myself occupational integrity. Grief is one of those things we often don't properly manage. Can you elaborate on the importance of it? So I'll say this. For one, you need to have a grief counselor or therapist, right? Now that's one thing I don't cut corners on, right? So I would definitely challenge for you to have a grief counselor, therapist, somebody that you can talk to on a regular basis. So when you talk about occupational integrity, we're really challenging you to prioritize you. So I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and I was just like, okay, so you didn't get a counselor. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Matter of fact, Jerry, when we get done, don't let me forget. Remind me to hit Dr. Lewis. Very important.
Okay.
I mean Dr. Williams. My bad, Dr. Williams. So listen to me, y'all. I'm just thinking like, I'm like, you still ain't booked that? Oh yeah. I'm just like, you grieving, you struggling. So the biggest thing, Rico, is to prioritize you. And so when I say like protect your peace, prioritize you, set boundaries, you also got to create the space to put yourself in the best position to be heard, to feel seen, to feel loved, to feel valued. Like that right there is important. And so I want you to kind of walk in that because that grief is a whole nother element. And really didn't know much about it until, my brother Brian passed and my sister Sophie, what I'm saying, who is now a widow. She's in year 3 of it. And so I'm learning more and more as the months and years go by. I'm understanding more and more about grief and the elements of grief. And shout out to Amanda Wilson, a person in our community that's doing some phenomenal work. It just had a phenomenal grief conference that Sophie was a part of. But just the things I learned from them, the things that I've heard over the years, like, it's like I'm learning more and more about grief so I know how heavy that is. And I have in the past had unhealthy ways of processing the grief. Guess what, Rico? I didn't even realize it. I was having a counseling session. One of my other counselors, Dr. Mobley, probably 4 or 5 months ago, and she was like, Jeremy, you still have not properly grieved. And like, it just broke me down. And I was just thinking like, but I did a lot of crying. She was like, oh, baby, that's not, you know what I'm saying? So it's a process. And so I would say, put yourself in the best position to give yourself time for your heart to heal. That's how you can best operate with occupational integrity in that aspect. Put yourself in the best care, the best support, the best community to where your heart can heal. Appreciate that, man. That was good. Let me get that next question.
Yes, sir. Next question is from Frankie. Frankie said, hey, Jay, I got baptized on Father's Day, and maybe 2 weeks later, I started to slide back to, it seems like I started backsliding. Seems like the devil got on me even more. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
How do I navigate around that and stay the course? Is it just isolation?
No, so it's not so it is, but it isn't isolation. Great. Come on, Frankie. My man, 50 grand. Great question. And I believe this gonna bless a lot of other people. So first off, can y'all show Frankie some love and put congratulations in the chat? Come on, y'all. Show Frankie some love. My man said he got baptized Father's Day. And maybe 2 weeks later, he started backsliding. Seems like the devil got on me even more. So oftentimes we give the devil credit for things he should not get credit for. But sometimes it really do be the devil. The word of God says that if the devil tempts you and you resist him, like you can make him flee, right? So it's multi-layered. Let me say this. When I was going through my go-through, there were times when I had to isolate myself because I couldn't trust myself at the nightclub. I couldn't trust myself at the strip club. I couldn't trust myself at the studio. If I went to the studio where my boys recording music, at any moment it could be, look, I don't know if it's little kids be watching this, but at any moment it could go down. It could be a line of powder, like it's all sorts of stuff, trees being blown. Like I could not be in that space. But I would still tap in with my partners. Y'all can come to my crib because I can control what's happening. But I couldn't go there because I wasn't strong enough in that season. But Frankie, at the conference, I did caution and warn everyone that got baptized. I said, don't think that the enemy going to just let you get baptized, give your life to Christ, and everything is perfect. There is going to be an attack coming. So Frankie, I clearly told them that because there are some preachers, there are some ministers that stand on stage and says, give your life to Christ and everything's going to be perfect. Nah, his word says that if you're really going to be my follower, deny yourself, pick up your cross daily and follow me. That's what his word says. If you're really going to be my disciples, deny yourself. It ain't about you and your needs and your desires. Pick up your cross daily, being willing to crucify the flesh and follow me. Live the life he lived. And so there is a mandate that we have. And so I do understand how challenging that can be, but I do want to share that with you. Like, I'm not surprised that you got under attack. And I told the people on stage, and they probably thought I was joking, but I was serious. But I was like, ladies, it's gonna be that guy in the gym that wasn't paying you no mind. But now all of a sudden he gonna come and start flirting with you and compliment you. I said, fellas, old girl at work, you've been trying to holler at. You have been invisible to her, but she gonna be all up in your cubicle wearing that fragrance that got you hooked. I said, just watch out for the attack. So, with that being said, Frankie, when you get baptized, you weren't saying that you were ready to be perfect. You were saying that you were ready to surrender and to give your life to a perfect God. And so I do want to encourage you on this journey, my brother. Backsliding sometimes happen. You know what I'm saying? But God is a God of grace. The disciples are like, well, how many times we should give? 4, 5, 6, 7 times? He was like 70 times 7. You know what I'm saying? God is like, keep on forgiving. Don't stop forgiving. His word says, my grace is sufficient. You know what I'm saying? My strength is made perfect in your weakness. Bro, God is, let me tell you, we are drowning in grace. You know what I'm saying? His word says that there is nothing that we can do that can separate us from the love of God. Come on, Frankie. God's word says that there is nothing that we can do that can separate us from his love. Frankie, imagine that for a second, my brother. You talking about backsliding. What if you was like, you know what, God, forget you. I'm still going to wild out. God still wakes you up every single day and still loves you. Heartbroken, wants you to come home, wants you to live in eternity with him, right? But there's nothing that you can do that can make God stop loving you. But we don't just want the love of God. Bro, it's going to be people that's lost that it breaks God's heart. That's not going to make it to the kingdom of heaven. And God's going to say, I love you, but you chose not. You know what I'm saying? To love me back. So it's like, I want God's love, and I want his grace, but I also want his favor. And I also want his plan for my life. So the question now, Frank, is what you going to do with this information? You know the enemy will attack you. That's the norm. I've rarely seen somebody give their life to Christ, and everything is perfect. Now, when they go through that valley highs, mountain highs, valley lows, and they come out, then they on the stride. That's how it was with me. It didn't just work out all of a sudden, but it eventually worked out. All things work together for the good. Now you know the gaps. Now, Frankie, you know the triggers. Now you know the ways in which the enemy will try to attack you. Now you know how he'll try to distract you. Now you know what's going to set you back. So now you got to put those boundaries in place. I was such a savage years ago. I was like, yo, if anything would have my eyes wandering, I'm cutting that sucker off. I'm shutting it down. I'm following someone on Instagram. I'm like, whoa, you posting this content? I'm about to mute you or I'm going to unfollow you because I'm not playing with it, right? And so you got to just be intentional about guarding yourself and then growing with God. Here we go. Last thing, and I'm going to knock out 1 or 2 more questions. Starve the flesh, feed the spirit, Frankie. That's how I began to grow spiritually over the years. I had to starve the flesh and feed the spirit. What does that mean? Paul says, now, for those of y'all that's not familiar with Paul was like a Roman soldier that was crucifying Christians. He was savage. He didn't believe in God. He didn't believe in Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So he was crucifying, putting Christians in prison, women, children, even killing some of them. And he had an encounter with God and became a Christian. And he went from being Saul to Paul. God made him blind and this whole crazy thing. Epic, right? So Frankie, Paul now is one of the most powerful, wrote almost half the New Testament of the Bible. Powerful man of God. Paul says, I do what I don't want to do, but what I don't want to do, I do. Who can save me from this wretched man that I am? I share that with you, Frankie, because Paul was just like, man, I'm struggling. I do what I don't want to do, but what I don't want to do, I do. He literally was struggling in between. And so I'll share this with you, Frankie. When I say starve the flesh and feed the spirit, starve the flesh meaning, for me, it was no cigarettes, no black and milds, no blunts, no liquor, no nightclubs, no strip clubs, no pornography. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that stuff that's feeding the fleshly part of me, right? But then I starved the flesh. But then, and the music. Oh, Frankie, music. It was certain music I was listening to, and I began to listen to the lyrics of the money they're going to make and what they're going to smoke and what they're going to drink and what they're going to do in the weekend and who they're going to kill and who they're going to smash. I was like, I'm trying to live for God, but I'm putting this in my brain. So when I say starve the flesh, I was like, man, that music, the places I'm going, the things my body is consuming, my body, the temple of God. I had to starve the flesh, but at the same time, I fed the spirit. So I was like, man, I'm gonna volunteer more. I'm gonna be active at church. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna read my word. I'm gonna watch a sermon every day. I'm gonna read more books. I'm gonna put myself around people. When I go to church, I'm gonna tap in with small groups. I'm gonna pray and I'm gonna fast more. Does that make sense? Certain shows I can't watch on TV. Certain shows will be having like a sex scene every episode. I'm like, yo, I can't watch that because now I'm horny and I want to smash something. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being frank with you, Frankie, right? We adults here. If the kids is here, my bad. I'm just being frank with you, Frankie. Like, I had to starve the flesh and feed the spirit. So there were certain things I could not entertain, but I had to be intentional about the things I would entertain. And lastly, you said, like, is it just isolation? Isolation from the negative, but being open for the positive. So you got to get tapped in with a local church. Everybody that gets baptized at our events, we're telling them, like, we'll have those Bible studies. We're going to walk with you on this journey, but you got to find a local church that can pour into you. Some people say, hey, bro, I don't really do in person. I like to be online. I be telling cats, like, bro, get to the house of the Lord. You can go to a lounge, you can go to a restaurant, you can go to a mall, get to the house of the Lord. Join a small group community. Start building with other fellowship with other people and growing that way. That is the advice I would give you, Frankie. I hope that was helpful. I know that was a lot, but I really do want to see you win spiritually. And I believe if you hang in there, you ain't got no choice to win because all God do is win, win, win. Okay? What else you got, Jerry? Let me get one more before we wrap it up.
Yes, sir. We have Brittany. Brittany said I was doing contract work, and the money ran out. Should I continue to provide and serve, hoping the money will come?
One more time. I was doing contract work.
Yes, sir.
And the money ran out.
Mm-hmm.
Should I continue to provide and serve, hoping the money will come? Give me a little bit. What's up, Brittany? Good to see you. Give me a little bit more, Brittany. I was doing contract work and the money ran out. I mean, like, is that like contract like with a school district, a contract like with a nonprofit organization? Is there a chance that the grant could come back? Because I would hate to say, yeah, hang in there and see if the money will come back if I'm not familiar with the industry. So Jerry, just look out for her to respond. Okay. Because I don't want to give the wrong information. But I'll say this: if you were doing contract work and that's what you do full time, and you have other contracts with other organizations, I would just say ask the folks. Because the second part of your question is, should I continue to provide and serve, hoping the money will come back? I would say to ask the folks. Say, hey, how long have you been doing this for? Okay, the last 18 years. When it comes and goes, it's always come back. Like, just ask those questions. Like, I'm willing to hang in here another month or two, but I can't just show up and provide service and hope and just keep offering these services. You know what I'm saying? Okay, got you. So I will follow up. I would follow up, Britt, with with those who are sponsoring, and just ask them like, hey, is this gonna come back? And be looking for more sponsorships. That's what I would say do. And my prayer, Britt, because you do good work, I got you now. My prayer is that when you get more sponsorships on and you can go back and your magazine is booming and you pick things back up, because you know what I'm saying? Like when you out and you're doing your thing there, then you want to start looking for more money, more resources, more supporters, more sponsors. Don't wait till it runs out. Does that make sense? So a lot of times it's like, boom, I got a grant, I got a sponsor, I got financial support for the year. I'm going to rock out and just add value. And then when it runs out, you need to be like, okay, I got 6 months left of these resources. Let me line up some more folks for the next 6 months. And so that's what I would say do. And then you want to find a way where you can operate where you don't have to have the support of others. That's the next level, Brittany. The biggest advice I would give you, second to whatever I've just shared, is to find a mentor in that space. Find someone that's gotten a magazine company up and off the ground, running and thriving. Ask them, this is what I've been doing. This is my track record over the last 7 years. This is how I generated revenue. This is the reach. These are the people I've had in the magazine. Like, these are the sponsors I'm bringing in. Like, what are my gaps? Find someone now, you know, that is dominating in that space and has a long track record and have them mentor you there. I feel like you are one mentor away of being super successful so that when you do bring on these sponsors, that's just extra. But your magazine business is generating enough revenue where it can stand on its own to where you don't even need no more sponsors, whether it's a nonprofit or a for-profit organization. Right, that's the name of the game right there. Is to have enough revenue coming in to where you don't now the sponsors is extra. The sponsors is like, okay, great. Like now I'm good. Now I'm ready to hire on a staff. Now I got 6, 7 people. So now we can do even more and we can scale our business that much more. But I would say to find a coach or a mentor that can really give you the game and show you how to go to that next level. Good to hear from you, sis. Let me get 2 more, Jerry.
Yes, sir. Next one is from Benjamin. Benjamin said, what would you do differently if you started again as a business owner and speaker?
I'm laughing. Ben, I owe you a call, man, but thank you for grace, brother. Thank you for grace, man. It's been one of them days, man. I literally finished my last call, jumped in the shower, and said, what time did I come down and sit down, Jerry?
Probably like 6:56, maybe.
6:54 minutes from when we went live. I popped my collar, and he was doing the countdown. But we'll connect soon enough, man. So what would I do differently if I started again as a business owner and speaker? Great question. I would have had more clarity. When I first started, Ben, I was in churches, schools, and corporate. I was kind of all over the place. So I would have had more clarity on a singular focus. And I often talk about how people shouldn't eat their seeds. So when I would start making money speaking, I was trying to, overcompensate and buy things for Tracy or take trips or eat out when I should have been intentional. Like, okay, this is going to bills. This is going to my business. B2B, this money is going to my bills and this is going to my business. Separate from my tithe, of course. What else would I do differently years ago if I started again as a speaking business and owner? The things I teach now, Ben, like capturing testimonials, having a videographer with you, capturing pictures and videos, like capturing the moment, updating your reel and website every year. I would have did that stuff. I probably would have brought on a mentor earlier. Truth be told, Ben, I've known ET for 30 years. I didn't always follow his advice. It's crazy, right? I had access to him. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I got baptized, I was like, I'm back. Bro, I was out here tripping. I was out here kicking in doors. Like, I was wilding, but I'm back. I love God again. He was like, come on. You know what I'm saying? But when it came to speaking, for years, I was hard-headed. For years, I was like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to do it my way. So for me, I would have leaned in more. I would narrow down my message and my audience. And sometimes that takes time. You got to date around. Right. So I didn't know coming right out the gate, it should have been schools because most of the time I was speaking in churches and primarily of them, they were Adventist churches, as you know, and then I would get more opportunities to go to other churches and schools from there. But I would have had a singular focus sooner. I would have did a better job investing the revenue that I was making back in my business. And I would have tapped in more with ET and other mentors and did exactly what they were saying. Because I tried to so long to figure it out on my own. And quite frankly, what they were telling me to do, I didn't want to do it, or I felt like, oh, that'll work for you, but it wouldn't work for me. And so I cannot stress enough the importance of really having a mentor in that space. I got great, exciting news to share with you too about a conversation I had with Freddie. And so, those would probably be the main 3 high-level things I would share that I would do differently as a business owner and a speaker. But separate from me not eating my seeds, investing better into my business, having more clarity, and mentorship in that space, that would have took me to a whole nother level a whole lot faster. Yeah. Appreciate that question, Ben.
All right. Last one is from Janae Hudson. She said, is there money for MCs?
Oh, what's up, Uplifter Business Mindset Mentor? The name longer than the question, okay? I'm just teasing. Is there money for MCs? Yes. So, I don't know if he'll mind me sharing this, but Mike Moss, if y'all know Mike, he's the co-host on our Next Level Living podcast. I've known Mike for probably 20 plus years. Good friend, like a brother. And Mike is like the MC extraordinaire. Like he's done so many weddings, he's done so many graduation parties, he's done so many galas, awards banquets, conferences, masterminds. He's literally done every type of event except for a funeral. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I've been talking to Mike on not just motivational speaking, but it's like really branding himself as a GOAT in the MC space. I'm like, bro, I got so many friends. I literally have somebody I know personally that's having an event every single month, and they're looking for an MC. They're looking for a host that has depth. And I've gotten a lot of opportunities to host and MC events, and I take very, very, very few because I'm not trying to be branded as that. But I've gotten a lot of opportunities in that space. So yes, there is money for MCs, but you need to brand yourself, right? And then, and as you build out the language on your website, and as you build out your speaker reel, you have to let the event coordinators know the importance of having a qualified professional host or MC. Most time they just say, hey, just announce the next person. It's like, yeah, but you lose the crowd. You can boost engagement. You can enhance the experience. You can have a strong, smoother program flow. And if there's ever a hiccup with the speaker or tech issues, you have someone that can fill in the gaps. Like I got like a dozen benefits of why people should have a trained, qualified MC or host that can carry the weight of the crowd and take the crowd on a journey or an experience. So uplifter, business, mindset, mentor, extraordinaire. I added to already your long name. Yes, there is money for MCs. And so if you were just starting to do this, I'm guessing you're probably just starting to do this. So I would say lean in, get as many events as you can under your belt, and really go through a journey now of capturing the photos, capturing the moments, capturing the testimonies. I want you to look up a year from now and say, man, I was blessed to be able to MC or host 6 or 7 events, but all of those pictures and testimonials and moments from those events, when you put that together, that looks like a catalog of a year or two of content. And so obviously to go on a journey of putting yourself out there, and we would love to support you in that space. Man, I'm about to go eat dinner, put in some time with the family, but I want to say thank you to those of you all that take the time throughout the night to tap in with me, to check in. I really try my best to give y'all my all. I've had meetings since all day. You know what I'm saying? I just had some time for myself in the morning. Got up, spent some time with God, water my plants outside. That's my mental health therapy time. After my worship, my time with God, I water all my plants outside. Then I hit the gym, and when I came back, I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't even have time to take a shower. It's been back to back to back to back to back all day, and but then I came on to spend an hour with you, and so I appreciate y'all tapping in. I don't take it lightly. You got the email, you got the text, you got the reminder. Maybe you set a notification. Again, subscribe to our channel, please. We're dropping this weekly content to you, and also like it. You know what I'm saying? If you like it, it lets YouTube know, oh yeah, let me make sure that this is in front of this person because they subscribed it and they liked it. And I'm gonna keep on adding this value and insight to you. Let me pray for you, and then after I pray, I want to kind of let you all know about a global tour that's coming to a country near you. Man, God, I am so grateful and excited to have this platform and this opportunity to speak to so many amazing people all over the globe. As we're talking and learning more, and they're now processing this idea of occupational integrity. I pray, God, in the name of Jesus, that you will show them how not to just operate with integrity within their occupation, but in all the spaces they occupy as humans. Their husbands, wives, mothers, fathers, employees, business owners, CEOs, speakers, entrepreneurs. They wear a lot of different hats. And ultimately, Lord, may they take better care of themselves, their heart, their mind, their spirit, their connection with you, their bodies. Help them to take better care of themselves so that they can be as amazing as you've already created them to be, God. All you and I want for them, Lord, is for them to walk in the greatness that you have already destined for them. So as they learn and understand occupational integrity more. Help me to learn it even more. Help me to go from knowing and doing, and all of us eventually get to a place where we're being as amazing as you have called us to be. That's my prayer. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. I want y'all to keep praying on that because you have something special there. And I think the biggest takeaway is I'm not telling you to go out and just try to be something. God has already put that greatness inside of you. It's your responsibility to harness it and pull it out and share it with the world. That's all we ask you to do. Speaking of sharing things with the world, y'all know we just had our Next Level Speakers Conference a month ago, and we're going global, y'all. And I want to take a moment to show y'all this global experience that's taking place in Canada and the UK. Check this out.
It's my time. It's my turn.
Next Level will change your life.
Everything is here.
It's a dream come true.
Blown away. It's a must-see.
September 28th is going down. E.T., Jeremy Anderson, the whole crew is coming to Canada. They're coming to pour into you if you're ready.
All y'all gotta do is show up. We're gonna show out. What's up, London? We on the way, y'all. Look, y'all ain't gotta come to us.
It's your girl, Hayley Melinda, and I'm bringing the big boys. Jeremy Anderson, Eric Thomas, the #1 motivational speaker in the world, Jamal King. Listen, I don't need to chat too much. We even got CJ coming, man. Listen, we're gonna show up and show out.
We'll see y'all in a few. Let's go.
Hey, look, y'all, as E.T. often says, now you know, let's go. We're coming to the UK, and we're coming to Canada the end of September, beginning of October. We can't wait to see you there. So for all of our international family, you've been asking, man, we are coming, man. Thank y'all for tapping in with me tonight. Again, subscribe, like it, share it with a friend. Maybe you got somebody, you know there's greatness inside of them. I love it when people are like, yo, so-and-so share this with me. Like, share it with somebody. If you really believe this was valuable, you know what I'm saying? Share it with those you love, man. And we're going to push this to the next level together. I will see y'all not next week, but the following week. Let's get it.